two young entrepreneurs are setting up a coffee shop they've called the Campus Corner Cafe. One of these future business titans happens to be my nephew, Aaron. And along with his best friend, Sylvia, they're finding out that starting a business is a complex process. I kicked in a little seed money to get them started, and I even gave them the name of a good lawyer. But money's tight at this stage of the game, and they're trying to do as much as they can themselves.
It's a truism in small business, I think, that the majority of small businesses fail not because it's a bad idea, not because they're undercapitalized. It's because small business owners will not buy the expertise that they need.
If a company builds a relationship with a lawyer, for example, if they've started right from scratch, right from incorporation with that lawyer is intimately familiar with the details of that corporation. So when they pick up the phone, that lawyer does not have to spend time learning about the corporation or getting the background factual details. They already know everything. So they're in a position to fairly quickly provide advice. And if a small business has an ongoing relationship with a lawyer, it's often a situation where if they need advice on small matters, that the lawyer is prepared to provide that advice essentially free of charge. If steps need to be taken from that advice, then that may well be the case.
Most people don't even think of going into business unless they've got a good idea. And once they get the good idea in their head, that often takes over from their business sense. If they have no experience, and these people clearly indicated they didn't, what they're paying for when they see a lawyer or an accountant, even when they visit their bank manager, if they're going to take out a loan or even talk to a banker, is they're getting a variety of indications of things that they have to think about and plan for and deal with.
Yes, I'm calling about the status of a license I submitted to your department. My name is Aaron Jones, and it's for the Campus Corner Cafe. It's been a while, and I need to book the dates for the safety inspections. Okay.
Henry, it's Sylvia calling from the Campus Corner Cafe. Yeah, you were supposed to come out yesterday to start putting in these fans. Yeah, well, I have deadlines too.
Come here.
Okay.
Did you sign that?
Don't you have an assistant that can come out here? Well, when can you come?
I need someone to come out soon to approve the sinks and the tableware. Otherwise, we're going to get behind on our opening. Listen, we're going to lose revenue.
Look, Henry, if you double booked yourself, that's not my problem.
We got to get this thing moving.
Fine, I'll just find someone else. Color's nice. Yeah, it is. Do you know any cheap but good electricians, Janice? What do you think?
Very elegant. Are you going to sell liquor in your cafe?
Just the Irish cream latte. You remember my boyfriend, David. He's going to sell us the liquor wholesale because he owns a bar.
So you're going to get a liquor license?
Mm-hmm. I have the application.
I heard they can be really expensive and hard to get. Are you sure you want the hassle?
Ah! If I get put on hold one more time.
I'm getting so fed up with all the delays. So's Aaron.
Well, a liquor license might hold you up more.
I think you're right. Well, these are totally useless now.
If it helps any, I noticed cappuccino was spelled wrong.
What do you think of this?
It's cute. What's it for?
Biscotti. Aaron's Aunt Sophia makes it. It comes all the way from Italy. She makes it right in her own kitchen. We just need to put some labels on the tins.
You know, Syl, I think there's some laws about selling imported food.
No one has to know it's not from here.
I know, but you could get in a lot of trouble if the government found out.
Wonder what can of worms that would open trying to get an import license. You know, I'm gonna go in the back room and see if I can find anything out on the internet.
Okay.
Okay, if you can get back to me on that ASAP, I'd really appreciate it. Thanks. Sylvia, we've got... Janice, where's Sylvia?
In the back room.
Nice color.
Thanks.
This is the kind of day where they must be wondering if all the hassles are worth it. Of course, some things are easier to deal with than others. They'll be able to hire another contractor to put in the fans, but the regulatory issues will need their immediate attention.
My immediate take on it is certainly understand their frustration. And I think it makes the point of how important it is before people get into a business that they do some planning in advance to identify the approvals that they might require and that they give themselves enough time to acquire them.
What are you up to?
Trying to find out something about import laws. I'm not so sure we can sell your Aunt Sophia's biscotti without having to go through a lot of red tape. And you know what else? I don't want to go through the hassle of trying to get a liquor license anymore. I think we should just scrap the whole Irish cream latte idea.
Fine, whatever. I am so sick of trying to get a response for approvals for sinks, silverware, seating capacity.
I know.
What's next? Approval for the type of toilet paper we're going to use? Is there any level of government we haven't had to deal with yet? Municipal permits, provincial licenses, federal forms? Let's just get the minimal requirements done. Everything else we'll deal with later.
You have to find a new electrician, too. Henry doesn't seem to care whether he has our business or not. It's not, as he puts it, lucrative enough. You know that saying about the glass being half empty or half full? I think this coffee cup's half empty. We have less than 2 weeks before we have to open this place. How are we going to get it all done?
I don't know. There's so much more involved in the food service business than I had ever imagined. Oh well, we're in it for the long haul now. Shall I get you a half cup of coffee?
The thing to do here is really get back to the planning, that they have to do some planning in advance so that they don't hit these roadblocks. This is a problem. It's not just small business people like this. In my experience, you actually find fairly sophisticated developers, for example, who get taken by surprise by the level of approval requirements, by the level of regulation.
Aaron and Sylvia have finally succeeded in opening their dream business. The Campus Corner Cafe is fully operational and modestly successful. They now have a lawyer, an accountant, and even some staff. By hiring employees to do the serving and the mopping, they figured the business would be that much easier to operate.
Hey, sweetie, want a refill? How about you, honey? Then get your cup? Sure. Hey, boss, can I get your cup?
Maud, can you please come here?
Sure thing. What's up?
Maud, this isn't the type of cafe that offers free refills or goes around to all the tables like some kind of truck stop joint. Your place is behind the counter. You're not to bother the customers.
Well, excuse me. Just trying to be friendly.
That table needs to be cleaned up.
Thought you wanted me behind the counter.
Maud, just do the job you're supposed to, okay?
Okay, boss. Don't get rich from no friendly service. La-di-da. What's this, the Ritz Hotel?
You gotta try the Kona blend. It's excellent. Right, boss?
Right on, Josh.
Just have a seat and I'll bring it right out.
Aaron, have you noticed what's going on out there with Maud?
No, I've been too busy trying to get these books in order. Sylvia, we've got a problem.
I know we have a problem with Maud. You go first. What's up?
It's Josh.
Man, I don't know where we'd be without him. He's got it all. Attitude, clean look, helpful, but not too helpful.
Yeah, well, I think he's helping himself to our money.
What?
I think he's dipping in the till. Every so often when he's on shift, we are short about $25 from what we normally would bring in if you or I were working.
What do we do?
I don't know. So what was it you were going to say about Maud?
She's got to go, Aaron. She's just not right for the cafe.
Oh, great. Our first 2 staff members ever, and we got to fire them both.
I don't know anything about the process. I don't want us to get into trouble.
Both of these employees, they want to get rid of them, it sounds like. And it's not that easy. As an employer, you have to have what's called cause to be able to get rid of an employee. You know, that's the typical situation, an employee who is involved in theft or is constantly late, that type of thing. To be able to get rid of an employee without having to pay them anything that's what's commonly known as severance. From a small business owner's perspective, it can get very expensive if you're having problems with employees and you don't have enough to constitute cause to terminate them, but at the same time you still want to get rid of them.
I guess we shouldn't have hired her in the first place.
The reason we hired Maud is because we felt sorry for her. She's had a tough life. We wanted to help her out, give her a break, you know?
She really doesn't do anything wrong in her job. She just doesn't do it the way we want her to.
I don't think we have a big enough reason to fire her.
Is she ever late? Does she talk back at you? Those would be good reasons. Tardiness and insubordination.
No.
No.
Well, you could give her notice for dismissal, but depending on how long she's worked for you, you might have to pay severance. Did you say she was 58 years old?
Mm-hmm.
She might be entitled to a longer notification period or a longer severance. You should be aware, too, that this hints of ageism.
Oh, no, that's not it at all, is it, Aaron?
No.
We wouldn't have hired her in the first place if we were at all prejudiced. It's not the age thing, it's the attitude.
Okay. We'll work out something satisfactory for you to offer Maud. Now, what about Josh? You say he's stealing money. Do you have any proof?
Just what the books say. Our profits take a nosedive every time he works a shift.
Well, if you can't catch him in the act of thievery, or you confront him and you can't get him to admit that he's stealing, it's going to be tough to prove that he is.
Well, it doesn't happen all the time.
With someone who you think is stealing, the lawyer in the scene was right. You can't just kind of have a belief that the person is doing it. You need to have pretty solid proof that they're doing it. But if there's any concerns about it at all, better to get rid of him now and pay him some severance than be losing money down the road if he is stealing from them. Also, the longer someone works for you, the more severance you're going to have to pay them.
It's also complicated. Never mind how difficult it is to hire people. All the paperwork like vacation pay, CPP, employment insurance, income tax. But now we've got to figure out how to get rid of them. How much is that going to cost?
Yeah, it's a little more than tempting to just do it the way David does at his bar and hire under the table.
Sylvia, I don't think your boyfriend is my idea of a model business person.
Well, at least he makes a profit.
So why don't you go start a business with him then?
Oh, Aaron, come on. You know, I'm kind of worried about the coffee cup reader now. What if she doesn't work out either?
We've only just rented her a table. I foresee no trouble from that woman. Come on, I'll buy you a coffee.
I'm sick of coffee.
It's important to realize that we're really showcasing a lot of business problems here. It's not like every day Aaron and Sylvia face this horrible avalanche of pressing legal issues. In fact, the cafe is doing well. They've even managed to repay most of the $5,000 I invested at the outset. The important thing to remember, though, is that when it comes to business and the law, there's always room for surprises.
I know exactly why Josh is suing us, Aaron.
Why?
He's bitter. Because we gave him a bad reference when that restaurant that wanted to hire him phoned us up.
Sylvia, we were more than honest about his work ethics. He can't be trusted to handle money. He robbed us blind. Besides, we were more than fair with him. We laid him off, we didn't fire him, we gave him his full wages and holiday pay.
We only did that because we couldn't catch him in the act of stealing.
Hey, good morning. Could we get some coffee over here?
This isn't a restaurant. You need to come to the counter to place your order. I don't think we should serve them. They look drunk.
It'll be okay. If there's any trouble, I'll handle it.
2 coffees.
Our special today is the Colombian and the dark French roast.
Doesn't matter, just make it 2 big ones. There. Take the change.
Sorry, that's not enough. They're $3.50 each.
Are you serious? $3.50. They're like $1 at the all-nighter.
Well, this is a specialty coffee house. Do you want the smaller size? They're only $2.50.
Forget it.
Besides, it's about time Josh gets what he deserves. He can't sue us for wrongful dismissal. That's ludicrous. You know, there's a section in here about countersuing. I think we should return the favor and countersue him for the theft of our money.
What's that going to cost us?
It's not about the money, Sylvia. It's about the principle of the matter.
I think they're putting booze in their coffee.
All right, you guys, that's it. Get out.
What? What are you putting us out for?
I saw you pour the booze in your coffee. That's it. Come on, get out.
I ain't going nowhere. I said, please leave.
Hey, take it easy.
We're going. You're looking for some serious trouble, buddy.
Aaron, are you all right?
I'm okay, but that guy's not. He's got a bad cut to his head.
It's not your fault. You told him to leave and they wouldn't.
Yeah, but I heard him. He could probably nail me with assault or something. I don't know.
It's not your fault. I saw him. You were only defending yourself.
Yeah, but we're gonna get customers any second now, or the police.
I'll clean up. You go in the back and phone the lawyer.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Hey, Aaron, better ask the lawyer about our counterclaim against Josh, too.
Right. Anything else?
Okay. You might think Aaron was entitled to throw those guys out. He did ask them to leave, and they weren't too eager to go. They started the trouble, and that one guy got what he deserved. Well, that's one way to look at it.
The owner is entitled to use force, but the question really becomes whether or not reasonable force is being used. At that point, when the customer stood up, the owner should not have confronted the customer in the fashion that he did. In my mind, the owner should have taken a step back and been more conciliatory in dealing with a person who was clearly intoxicated. My advice to my clients is if they have such a customer that is guilty of violence, is I immediately would have them phone the police and let the police deal with the belligerent customer. They're well trained, they're professionals in dealing with these types of circumstances where the proprietor of the restaurant certainly would not have the same capabilities. In this circumstance, there will be the prospect for the owner to be sued for using force that was more than reasonable in the circumstances.
Aaron and Sylvia are working long hours at the cafe again. They still want to hire someone, but this time they're patiently searching for the right person. They've learned from their mistakes, and that's called experience.
Bill.
This is from the provincial court. Josh's wrongful dismissal claim and our counterclaim for his theft of our money has been assigned to mediation.
What does that mean?
It means we're not going to court over the matter, I think. You, me, and our lawyer meet Josh and his lawyer to hash out our disagreements. There's another person present at the meeting who acts as a mediator between the two parties.
When are we meeting?
Not for a couple months yet.
Aaron, Sylvia, what's up?
Hey, Bill.
Can I get a cup of Java and one of those banana muffins?
Bill, we need to talk to you about the debt you owe us for all the Saturday brunches.
Sylvia, that was the windsurfing club meetings. They owe you the money, not me.
We gave you the credit in good faith, Bill. You owe at least part of the debt.
I paid dues to cover the cost of the brunches to the club.
Can we talk about this another time?
Bill, I'm not going to serve you until the money you owe is paid.
I don't owe you any money, Sylvia. The tab is in the club's name. I don't know how you're going to get money from a club that doesn't exist. I'll see you later, Aaron.
Some friend you have there, Aaron.
Well, they don't have to worry about seeing that guy again. Of course they want their outstanding bill paid. There's few things more annoying than getting shafted, but there's probably a better way to deal with this.
The way the woman partner approached him, there's a bill, you have to pay it. The first reaction is he's being pushed, and he's going to push back and say, wait a minute here. I think if he's approached in a different fashion and say, you know, there's this bill for your club, and how can we deal with this? We'd really like to get paid here. Is there a way we can work this out? One is more conciliatory than the other, but she's feeling the pressure. They've got a business debt here that they want to be paid. She's feeling anxious. People act out their emotions in different ways.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Look who's here, our favorite lawyer.
Hi, you two.
Hi there. Guess what we got in the mail today? Notification for mediation over the Josh thing. Have a seat.
Oh, thanks.
Do you want to try a cup of the vanilla roast?
Ooh, sounds great, sure.
And for you, Sylvia?
Sure, I'll have one.
Yeah, should go fairly smoothly with the mediator. I mean, their job is to keep everybody on topic, keep tempers at an even keel, and help us all reach a satisfactory agreement. They have a fairly high success rate.
Now give that a try.
Oh, yeah. So, how's business?
Pretty good. We're starting to see a lot of regulars. This is a great location.
Speaking of regulars, I think we have another job for you to take on. We have an outstanding debt with a customer who doesn't want to pay up. The problem is the tab is under his windsurfing club's name. Apparently, the club, which is just a bunch of guys who met on Saturdays, is no longer active.
If the club was not incorporated, you might have a problem trying to sue. I mean, you can try taking all the individual members to small claims court and possibly end up in a mediation process like the one you have here with Josh. Or you could try a collection agency.
It's all such a hassle. It's like we finally get somewhere with the whole thing with Josh that we don't even have a moment's breath before Bill comes along and screws us around. It's like one step forward, two steps back.
I don't want to get too heavy with this guy because he is a friend of mine.
Yeah, but you do want to be repaid, right?
Of course. Sylvia, I just think I should try to collect from him myself before we do anything too drastic.
Okay, but I'm taking this debt with Bill quite seriously. And if you can't get him to repay the money, then I think we should turn it over to someone else to handle.
I agree, and we will. We'll call you if I can't resolve this myself.
All right. So now this whole mediation thing. Formal, informal, what goes on?
A mediation is an opportunity for the two people at the table to sit down and work out their own solution to the legal problems. What litigation means, it's really a failure of those two people to sit down and work something out. And it's an opportunity for a judge to listen to the plaintiff's position, listen to the defendant's position, and come up with a solution that's court imposed.
Hey, what's all this about me stealing from you guys?
Josh, what are you doing here?
All right, cool it, buddy, and get out. Now.
I'm not leaving until I get some answers.
You'll get some answers at that mediation meeting. Now, are you going to leave or are we going to call the police?
I'm not going to sit through some meeting and be called a thief by you guys. I worked hard for you guys, and then you lay me off, give me a bad reference, and call me a thief?
Fine. Sylvia, let's call the police.
Go to hell.
Don't worry, everyone. Just a little ex-employee disagreement. No biggie. How are we supposed to go into mediation with him?
I don't know. But we better call a lawyer and let them know about this. Josh is obviously looking for a fight. I mean, who knows what he's going to do next?
I think we better tighten up our security, too. You know, he's acting pretty rash.
Yeah. I mean, if we come in tomorrow morning and our windows are smashed, we'll have a pretty good idea who did it.
I think I'll call the alarm system company.
When a person feels he or she's been slighted in a work environment, as in fired, they take that to heart. And I would say Josh has some serious emotional problems based on that previous relationship that mediation will do wonders to help him deal with. Because that's precisely the kind of case that should go to mediation. You sit down, it's a private meeting, the mediator helps vent the people's frustrations, you get the venting out of the way, and then you zero in on the real legal issues. And that in this case would be, am I justified to obtain compensation in lieu of the notice of dismissal from Josh's perspective, and from the employer's perspective, it would give them an opportunity to vent and justify or attempt to justify their position vis-a-vis the working relationship.
Aaron and Sylvia have a problem here. Yeah, it's a headache to spend time away from your business to take care of matters like Josh's dismissal. But what can they do? They can't ignore it. This is what their lawyer is for. She'll guide them through the whole thing, advise them of their options, and represent their best interests. This way, Aaron and Sylvia can concentrate on what they do best, running the Campus Corner Cafe.